So first I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Power Grip. I like this primer, but I prefer the e.l.f. Putty Primer instead. But since I already bought it, I'm just gonna use it. It's very tacky and it clings on the foundation very well, so it allows your foundation to last all night. For my T-zone, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Putty Primer because it helps to blur pores and oil, and I usually have both those in these areas. So yeah, I love this. I actually end up putting it all over my face anyways. I just love this primer. It's just so good. And then for foundation, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Superstay foundation. And this is like a full coverage foundation, but it's drugstore, so it's super good. And I'm going to take the butt of my damp beauty sponge and dab it in a few times so I can really like saturate the bottom of the sponge well. And then I'm going to apply it onto my face. You can go in as many times as you want. You can really layer with this foundation. It's just very nice, and I love it so much. As you can see, it really helped to get rid of the redness immediately, and I didn't even have to spot concealer or anything. A trick for getting the like hairline or like next to your hairline, but you don't want any like gel or product to get on your sponge, take a brush and apply it with a brush instead. I hate acne. Anyway, so for concealer, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and then I'm going to just outline my liner just to make it sharper. If you're gonna do a point like me in the inner corner, first of all, mistake. Apply, if I were to do this again, which I obviously am, I'm going to apply my concealer, but after I apply my cream contour, just so I don't have to apply concealer twice, because that made my concealer really thick and just looked weird and kind of cakey and just gave me flashback Mary, and it was not a cute time. Also, this concealer is too bright for me, which also contributed to me having flashback Mary. So, two mistakes, but it's okay because we learn. But yeah, also if you're gonna do an inner corner little like flick like I did, I would also do that after concealer because I had to keep going back and redrawing it in because I kept covering up with concealer by accident. So I would do that after concealer. But here we're gonna just reverse nose contour, and it's just like if we just did our concealer after we cream contoured, we wouldn't have to do this twice, because I had to do this twice because, you know, the cream contour got lost in the concealer. So if you just do it after, you just only have to do it once, which is preferred and honestly recommended. So now we're going to go in with the cream contour. It's the same e.l.f. Camo Concealer, but just in a darker, deeper shade. It's kind of like a cream bronze for me because it's like, you know, a bronze shade, but it's not like dark enough to be contour. I don't know, I just like the way it like makes that, gives me depth in that area. It's just really cute. I'm going to use the same beauty blender just to blend this in, and I just love how warm it is. I love a warm over a cool tone any day. So you see how it's like a line right there's like a line cutting off the concealer and the contour, and it's just like if we put concealer on after we did the cream contour, we could honestly do like a cute little ombre. See, I'm having to go back in with my concealer. I could have just done this once, you know, but you live and you learn. And then I'm gonna go in with the True Complexion powder, making sure that I have no creases. Then this is the essential part. I learned this from Jordan as well. You take a powder puff and pick up some powder, and we're not gonna bake, we're not gonna cutely little set it. We're gonna actually like dip the powder puff in there and really set it in our skin. Just keep pressing and pressing and pressing until you see that there's no more powder residue left. Like we're actually pressing it and settling it into the skin, and it just makes this beautiful matte finished look, and it's so cute, and I love it so much. Especially if you have oily skin, this is so good if you have oily skin. And for me, I have combination, and honestly, it doesn't dry me out. I don't look cakey or gross afterwards, especially after we set with setting spray. It just looks so cute. Honestly, another mistake here, you really don't need to pick up that much powder on the powder puff. Like I would pick some up and dab some off and then go in and press, because I feel like I did use a little bit, especially in my under my under eyes. This didn't contribute to the flashback Mary. The flashback Mary was me layering on the concealer and making it thick and weird, and it's not my shade, so that's flashback Mary. But yeah, I just love the finish that this gives me. I think it's just so nice, and it smooths out my acne and just makes everything look nice, matte, and smooth. And then also you can see where we did the cream contour. It just looks so nice. Now we're going in with the powder. So I'm going to take a fan brush and we're going to contour my face, brushing upward, not downward, to add more of a lifted effect and not to bring the face down but more lifted, and we're gonna do that to the same side. And I'm gonna add some to the forehead too, and just in other places where you want to bronze. These are places that I bronze though, and I find that a fan brush really just, it's very nice and it gets in those places for me. So I really loved using a big fan brush. And then we're going to just bake underneath our contour to add more of a sharp look, which I love to do. And once again, you don't need that much powder. This is like a cute amount of powder. I think this powder is good. Yeah, you really don't need too much powder, but just enough. Like I would say not to be scared with powder, but to just do a cute amount. Now we're going to blush with this Maybelline Blush Up palette. I love this palette. I just purchased it from CVS and I love it. Like I just mixed the two lightest powders together and I love it. It's like a peachy tone, which is like my favorite. Then there's like a more deeper pink and it's just so cute. Also, the contour kit is the You Can Be blush and contour palette from Amazon. Honestly guys, I'm just contouring my nose, but I would not recommend, like honestly, half of these makeup products that I'm using. I really want to look into clean makeup. I heard that Jessica Alba has clean makeup in her. She has a brand called Honest Beauty, and I really want to try that out. But I'm probably gonna take a break from makeup for a while because my skin is just not loving it. Also, right here, okay, another mistake. I feel like packing on the powder to nose contour is good, and it does help to make a sharper nose contour. But you don't need to drag so much underneath your eyes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not necessary. As you can see, I'm trying to like buff it out, but that I feel like it just makes it more cakey. So pack on the baking powder like beside your nose, on both sides of your nose, but don't drag it underneath your eyes like that. There's just no need to. It's already bright there and we put enough powder anyways. Just adding more blush and doing some more touch-ups. Then I'm going to go in with my 25mm 3D Mink lashes from Amazon. And then I'm going to use the Wet n Wild highlighter in Champagne. And it's just amazing. Look how like bright it is, and I barely even touched it. It's just so good. I've had this for so long. This will last you so long. It's just amazing. And then I went ahead and did a few things off camera, like my lips. And this is unnecessary too. I don't know why I do this. It's just more powder for no reason, but it didn't really do anything anyways. But I'm just dusting it off with the Wet n Wild contour palette. Dusting off the bake now. But yeah, like now I'm gonna highlight with the same Blush Up Maybelline palette. And it's like a buildable. It's like not that harsh, but you can make it, it's not that blinding, but you can make it blinding by building it up. It's pretty nice. Now I'm just adding some finishing touches before we end this look. Now I'm going in with my e.l.f. Stay All Night setting spray to finish this look, and this is the final result. Actually, I'm going to go back in and tweak some more. I'm going to add some molds with some eyeliner, and then this should be the final result. I think this look is so cute. I really love it. I like the base a lot. I like how smooth and just glowy and it just looks so nice, and I really love it a lot. However, but then we get to the flash. I want you guys to really notice and see the mistakes that I made so you can prevent them, and so I can also learn from them and make sure not to do them again next time. But as you can see, we do have some flashback under the eyes, and wherever we put the concealer at, this shade is too light for me, so I need to keep that in mind and get a darker shade that matches me more. Also, as you can see, under the eyes is like super thick, and it just looks kind of off because we went in with 2 layers of concealer, which we didn't need to do, which added some cakiness. So those 2 could easily be avoided, and I'm gonna take note of that. And I just love how like whenever I do my makeup with you guys, it's like I'm learning also from my mistakes, which is, you know, a really good way to grow, because it's like you have to, you know, try, and the more you try, the more mistakes you make, and the more you can learn from your mistakes and do better. So